Good morning, everybody. Sorry it has been a few days since the last On the Road Again with Shaggy, but it's been a busy week. And my birthday happened on Tuesday. It's now Thursday. And today is my youngest stepson's birthday, so it's birthday week. Yay, birthday week. So that means everything goes crazy because, well, it's also Fair Week. Illinois State Fair is happening this week. And, of course, the only time that I usually go once a year. Okay, one day I go. My daughter and I go, and we have a set routine where we walk through the fair and we see certain things, and then we come back. This year we did mix it up a little bit. With her being a little bit older, we decided we'd bet on the ponies, because we have horse races, and, well, we both lost. But it was a fun time because we didn't know what we were doing. It's kind of a funny story. We walked in and we thought, oh, this should be easy. All the information should be up on the screens. We shouldn't have to do anything other than walk up to the table, say, hey, we want to bet and this much, and let's go. Well, no, because you didn't even know what the names of the horses that were running were unless you bought a $2 program, and we had no idea what we were doing. So we bought the $2 program after hunting around forever for the betting window, because we can't make this easy, God forbid. And then we both bet. I bet to win, she bet to place, which place to me means first through third. Oh, no, that means first and second. Show means first, second, or third. We both lost. Horses came nowhere near winning. Obviously you had to get the odds favorite to win. Which, if it's the odds favorite and it wins, then, I think you got like 50 cents. It was ridiculous. It was just plain silly. So, but it was something different, something for us, fun to do. We were already talking about, it was fun enough, we'll do it next year. Maybe we'll bet on a couple races, but we won't bet nearly as much. So, we can enjoy it a little bit longer. And we also are talking about maybe next year doing the beer tent, go a little bit later at night, hang out, have a couple of beers, and listen to a band or two. So, as she gets older, the things I can do with her become a little bit more, so that ought to be fun. But this year, I got talked into going for a second day at the fair, which, never happens. But my aunt called. It's my aunt who has, you probably heard me talk about it if you listen to the radio show at all. She's got a son, an adopted son, who is mentally challenged due to seizures, and asked me if I would take him because he wanted to go on the rides. Well, honestly, I was a little bit apprehensive about it, just simply because he has seizures. And my thought is, well, nothing about going on rides can be easy for someone with seizures. But she assured me that, they weren't spatially oriented seizures, so it was no riskier for him to go on a ride than it is to walk down the street. So I decided, okay, I'd do it. And it was okay. It was hotter that day that I went. But it also meant that I had to go on some rides, which I don't mind rides, but, if I go on rides, I want to go on rides from multi-million-dollar companies like Disney and Six Flags and, stuff like that. Where, I don't know, architects and engineers and high-powered people went into designing them, and they have triple and safety features and everything. One set up by meth heads. This isn't really my cup of tea, especially given that we had the recent problem in the state fair where a ride just fell apart and sent people flying. So we avoided that ride, but we went on a couple other ones, and I went on about half as many as he did. I did send him on some on his own just because I wasn't feeling well. And then on the way back, we have one called the Giant Slide, which is just that. It's a giant slide. Now, every year I say I'm not going to go on that. But this kid, I had gotten some tickets for it, and I just didn't want him to feel alone. I didn't want him to feel like I was just a chaperone, that I wanted to be there. So I went ahead and I went down with him, and well, what happened always happens. I damaged my tailbone. I bruised it really badly, so it actually hurts to sit. So doing the next radio show is going to be a lot of fun, sitting for 2 hours. Because right now, when possible, I'm actually sitting on one of my legs to elevate my backbone and keep the pressure off of it. And I'm taking Vicodin to null the pain. And according to everything I've read and my past experience, it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for this to heal. Because it's just a bruised bone. So there's nothing you can do about it other than maybe heat and or ice to help it heal any faster. And that's not going to help it heal. It's just going to, numb it a little bit. So I'm in a bit of pain from being a nice guy. I don't mind being a nice guy, as I tell my daughter all the time. I'm just trying to make up for some of the things that I, did that weren't so great. Trying to even out the books, as it were. Which, if I was really honest, that's not what the religion says. Religion says you don't have to try and even out your books, because as long as you believe and you're honest in your heart, you'll be forgiven. But I'd rather hedge my bets. I think I've said that 100 times if I've said it once. I still think I should try to be a good person as much as possible to make up for the times where I wasn't. Because there have been times where I wasn't. So, this is me trying to make amends. And, so to that point, also one of the things I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be posting a picture of like I said, my youngest stepson's birthday is also today. I'll be posting a picture of him with his real dad online. It's not something I'd probably really do on a regular basis, but, if his real dad hadn't been a jerk, I wouldn't have ended up with his mom. So that's how that works. And his real dad isn't around anymore, so But again, I love my stepkids, and I know that they love my daughter, and they'll do anything for her. So I really do like my family. So. But that's been my weekend, and my week. My week has been so busy putting everything together because we're having a big family blowout on Saturday. There's 38 people coming to my house on Saturday. It is ridiculous, the amount of people and children coming to my house for a birthday party. But, it's only really, honestly, about 10 more than normally show up for birthday parties, so I don't know why I'm complaining, but it just seems like so many people. And so it'll be an interesting time. Hopefully the weather holds out and everybody can go outside. If it rains and there's going to be almost 40 folks inside the house, that house is going to get really packed really quickly. So, and now we've got homeless people with people in wheelchairs for even more sympathy on the corners. That's great. So, and this McDonald's is never going to get finished. I swear it's never going to get done. They've got the lobby. They closed the lobby in mid-January or mid-July, and they say it's going to be open at the end of September. I don't think so. So now they're running a McDonald's with drive-thru only. Never in this town has that happened. I can't imagine, And I used to work at that one. I can't imagine that they do a whole great business. I mean, at night maybe, but no, because their walk-in business was great during the day because they had all these state buildings around, so people would walk there for lunch. But I'm sure it's hurting their bottom line. That kind of brings you up to date on what's been going on. We've got another show coming up on Monday, which I'm kind of looking forward to. It's been a while since we've talked. I've got 2 movies I've still got to try and fit in somehow. I'll probably watch them both on Sunday because Saturday, like I said, today's Thursday already. I'm going to be busy tomorrow cleaning up the house, cleaning up the yard. Saturday is all birthday day. It's going to be all birthday party day. And Sunday kicks off. My youngest stepson and his wife are going out of town for a week. So their two boys are going to be staying with us. 1 and 3.5. So it's going to be, grandparent days for a whole week. I like my grandkids, don't get me wrong, but 1 or 2 nights, that's fine. Stretch it into a week, they're going to be a handful, I think. Because I ain't got a whole lot of patience. I had 1 kid for a reason. And that's because little kids, me and little kids don't always get along. My patience is not what it used to be, and it didn't used to be much when it used to be. So I think there's a lot of people that can relate to that, though. But, you got to have at least 1 kid so that you got somebody to take care of you when you get older. Those people that have 2 kids, they're just betting that 1 kid isn't going to last. So, but, I don't know. That's just a joke. I'm just kidding. If you have 2 kids, I'm sure you love your 2 kids. There was a question that my wife and I had last night, though, which is, if you're a teacher, we know that you have children that you hate, that you can't really stand. Do you have favorites? All right, do teachers have favorite students just as much as they have students that they can't stand? I think the answer is yes. Because I don't see where you could have a student that you hate or that you don't look forward to seeing and not have a student that you look forward to seeing. So, that question came to us right after we got hit. We got into a little fender bender accident last night. We were waiting to turn into a gas station, and a guy was turning onto the road that we were waiting on, and he couldn't stop in time, and he just ran into the back of us. We're both fine. The car's a little bit messed up, but it's kind of funny. That car has now had 2 rear endings. The only good thing to come out of it is I have not had to pay for a muffler yet on that vehicle, because they've both been wrecked by the rear endings. So, yay, new muffler again. So I don't know. It's not nearly as bad of a hit as I guess what it could have been. He did try to avoid, so at least he didn't hit us as hard. Because I felt it, and, I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat. My wife was driving. But still, never good when you get into a wreck, and she was a disaster. And rightly so. I mean, she had already had a bad day, and then for that to happen, she just broke down. And she knew that I already wasn't feeling good because of the giant slide, and she was just concerned that I was hurt worse. And I think I'm fine. I don't have any negative effects. More so than I already was, so, like I said, it was fairly low speed, so it wasn't too bad. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a small update. No real topic other than just a weekend update of what's going on. So if you don't hear from me until Monday, that's why. So, but I felt like I needed to get something out, because you really haven't had much this week other than the funeral post, and didn't see a whole lot of movement on that. So hoping you guys are liking the show. Comment. I haven't seen too many comments. I really want your comments. What do you think about the show? And please share the show. We really need to get this out to more people. So this trip's over. I will see you next time I'm on the road.